Okay, so here is the Magic Corner, the new version that just recently came out. So the old version had holes that were further or closer to the side. These are the old holes. This is the new bracket, and these are the old holes. So essentially we're at 1.5 inches over, about 1.5 inches. That's the dimension to the center line of these vertical holes. And then from up here, and just see the specs, and these will be updated 1.5 inches up from the bottom as well. There's actually millimeters there, but what we do is we typically draw a line from one side to another, and then we just position the holes on that line based on the specs. And we'll get that more information on that when we get to it. So as far as the template is concerned, template's accurate. So what we're gonna do is you're gonna start with drilling on the deck. So what we have here is we have the front, so you just set it into the cabinet, essentially like so. And then once we do that, so we'll have the holes being drilled there's gonna be a couple holes here for the bottom bracket, the pivot bracket. Then we have no, we don't need that, no. It makes it flash. So we have 4 holes here, and then we have a bunch of holes up here. So there's 1, 2, another 2 here, and then there's going to be some separate holes for a separate piece. So if you notice this piece right here, let me just back out a little bit. This piece right here is separate than the back piece that's back here. The only place that gets touched together is right there. So that's where the two link together. This thing just pops in and out. So notice this. This piece is now, the piece in the back is completely separate now. So that installs separately. So essentially what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna install this one first using the holes that are in the back. We have 3 holes. We're not anchoring it up on top. It's only being anchored on the bottom there. This is free up here. We have a hole here and a hole here. And that's done by taking this template. You just attach the template into here, like so, and then you drill it right where the X's are. Now, if you're looking at it and you're wondering which A mark, so we have A1, A2, and A3. You could, in theory, drill all 3 holes, but we're using A3 since we have a 24-inch deep total cabinet. The interior depth's about 23 inches. So you're just drilling the A3. You don't need to drill the A2 and A1. So A3 on everything. So essentially, if that's inside the cabinet, you're gonna be there with A3. So just pre-drill those holes, or you can get essentially a very sharp object, and you can kind of poke through the template, and then you'll know exactly where the hole is. You can screw right into it. Okay, so as far as putting it together, we'd install this back piece first. It's easy. Then we install the bracket on the bottom, second. And then we'd install the bracket up here, third. The way it all goes together then, we push it in. Notice that this is now independent. It's not touching the piece in the back at all. To get that to work, what you do is you attach it. So if you see here, you just put it into one of these holes. I chose the second hole on this. Now the whole thing works together. If you want more space for that, you can actually move the hole, you can move it over to, say, like the 4th hole. So there's no rubber bracket on it yet, but you can get the idea here. All that does is it just pushes that back bracket over. So that's where your shelves are gonna sit. I'm gonna keep it a little tighter. I'm gonna put on that second hole. That keeps everything together there. Okay, so putting the door on. All right, let's put the door on. We'd have the bracket already installed according to the specs. So what we're gonna do is come over here, take a look at this, push it in about halfway, and then all you have to do to put the door on is there's a little hole right here, and there's a hole here. So that's the attachment point. And then there's an adjustment hole down here. So we're on this side. Come over here. So notice how we do this. We're putting it in. I'm gonna put it right there and right here. That's it. So and it just clicks down. So it just clicked down. To release that, you just undo this clip and pull the door up. That's it. It's very simple. And then here, the last part is down here. That attaches to the bracket right there. I just pushed it down. To get it out, you just pop it out. There's no just clicks into place. And then this adjustment allows you to pull it in and out. So to adjust the door once it's in there, this is already pretty well adjusted, but notice that you can move it here. That pulls the door in. And then if I rotate this way, it pulls the door out. Here, goes up and down. So that's pretty much that. I'm just going to adjust it down a little bit. All right. Next thing is installing the shelves. Pretty easy. So what you're going to want to do, this is the rear shelf. It's the bigger one. You're going to take it in this way. I'm going to put this one on the bottom just so you can see it. It just hangs on the two little hooks back there. You see there's a hook there and a hook there. It just hangs there. It's easy. I'm going to do another one on the front. And again, I'm going to use the bottom shelf. Again, I hang it on the hooks, and that's it. It just sits there and rests. There's no additional support needed. To close it, you can see it working here. Notice how close it is with each other. Again, if those are touching or you're rubbing right there, then you'd use that bracket in the back. So the bracket back here. If that's touching, you'd move this piece over to here, and that'll get you another 2 inches of distance. So in theory, you could get a bigger shelf in there if you wanted to, but this is about as big as you're going to get, because we already supplied with those. Okay, so that's pretty much it.
You want to close it and open it one more time?
Yep, so here we go.
Close it all the way.
Closing,
Okay.
and then you move that in. So again, adjustments there. I'm going to pull that in a little bit. You can do it by hand. There's no screwdriver adjustment. You could really if you wanted to. And it pulls it nice and shut.
And then all the way out.
Exactly. And there's more adjustments here and there. So to pull it all the way out, again, you can see full access to the inside of the cabinet. And that's pretty much it. Thank you.